Hi, this is Heidi Ferris. I'm in southern New Hampshire and I'm starting beekeeping today. I've already set up everything, but I've never done this before, and today I pick up my bees. I thought I'd video everything and so I remember and maybe share it if I find that it could be helpful to somebody out there. So first I'm going to do is show you my setup for the bees. It's a little bit more complicated than when I first considered doing it, but I'm in now and really curious how this is going to end up. This is the solar panel that powers this fence. This fence is basically to keep bear out and away from your hive. We have obviously a human sign to keep human hands off it because it supposedly is not particularly pleasant when you touch it. So we're going to try and avoid that. You'll notice on the solar panel that this is blinking green. That means it is on, and with every pulse of the green light, it actually is giving a pulse to the fence, and they're attached by the power and the ground, which you need for electricity. In this area, the two main things you need, well, the main thing you need is the hive. We'll get to in a minute, but it also is really helpful because honey actually gets really heavy, and it's nice to not have to bend over and put everything right on your ground. So it's nice to have something raised. I just use cinder blocks, as you can see, and some old wood, and I just painted it for looks. But you don't even have to do that. Some people use a folding table, anything they really want, or you can put it down on the ground. But like I said, it kind of hurt your back after a while, I hear. I don't know, because this is day one. So my frames are already ready. They're already pre-waxed, but I have seen a lot of suggestions about putting a little bit more wax on the frame, and the gentleman who I got my supplies from actually said I could just take a block of beeswax and, like, you know, scrape it all over and just kind of make it so it looks like I'm making a crayon drawing, kind of is how he suggested that I do it. But I actually saw a hack online and it looked neater to me and a little bit more controlled, so I thought I would do that. And what they suggest, or what he suggested online, is to melt beeswax in a crock pot on low heat, and use a roller and roll the beeswax onto my frame. So we'll see if that works. You do both sides because the queen will lay eggs in both sides. So I'm going to do that. I'm just about ready to pick up my bees today. I have a 12 o'clock appointment. I'm finding that when you're buying your bee packages, they usually have a separate time for each person. And mine is 12 to 12:30, so I want to make sure I'm there on time. Sounds like something that is a regular practice. Like I said, this is day one. I've never done this before. Yes, I did that. It looks like, if you see, I just did, it doesn't have to be completely like corner to corner, but you'll see later, at least what I've seen on videos and stuff like that, is that the broods usually start kind of in the middle, and you don't always, it doesn't look like they go all the way out to the ends. Not positive, but that's what it kind of looks like to me. So anyway, just a light coat. Doesn't have to go down to the bottom of the cone of the frame. Still trying to get used to all the terms, and you probably hear me say thingy and stuff like that. Probably more than I should if I think I'm old enough to do a video. But so I'm just doing this ahead of time so that when I pick up the bees, you want to install them in your hive as soon as possible, because they've already usually been on quite a trip. Mine actually are Canadian bees because I live in the northeast and the winters are cold, so they suggest starting with bees that are used to the cold, basically. Like there's different types of bees, the southern bees from the south who might not be as hardy in the winter, and there's probably north bees that wouldn't be as hardy with the heat of, say, Texas or one of the southern states. So my bees that I'm picking up today are, I've been told, are originally from Canada, but they came all the way from California, and they've been on a long trip, and they're probably, you know, it's not their ideal situation. So once I get the package, you would just want to get them, start them in their new home as soon as possible, because they deserve it. They've been through a lot. Yeah, there's a spider in there that I just killed with my wax. Sorry, spider lovers. And one more. Just gonna do that. Get all waxed up. I hope I'm doing this right. Like I said, any contact so far, I've had a little bit of, like, maybe an hour with a bee mentor at his hive, but other than that, I've never really done anything with the hives or bees or anything. So it's gonna be fun to learn, and I'll be back with the bees. Yay! I just picked up my bees. I'm excited. I can't wait to get them home and get them into their new home. I have about a half-hour ride home, and I kind of expected that I would just kind of put them in the trunk, but when I got there, they said it's pretty warm today, so they said that I should probably keep them in my car with AC. It is 77 degrees right now, so obviously bees can take a lot of heat, but you know, you want to keep them as comfortable as possible. And you know, if I was too freaked out, I probably still would have put them in the trunk, but I'm not. They're fine. As a matter of fact, they're riding shotgun, so I'll show you in a minute, and you can hear them buzzing away. It's pretty cool. I can't wait for the rest of today. Okay, so as I said, they are shotgun. They're riding shotgun today. There's the bees. You can see actually that there are some that will get out. So if you're completely freaked out about it, just keep them in the trunk until you get home and covered up. But I'm gonna get the video really close so you can hear them all. It's pretty cool. See them all in there. Hi guys, you'll be free soon. I know it's been a long trip. Okay, I picked up my bees. They got here safe and sound. I didn't get stung. It was the least dramatic that you would ever expect for picking up bees. So I don't know. I figured I'd at least have some sort of like freaking me out or something, but it never happened. They're a lot more chill at this point, I guess, which is great. I'll take it. So we do need to get their food ready. They need sugar water at the beginning, so because you know it's New England and it's early May and they don't have much to eat right now, and there's 10,000 of them in there right now and they're gonna be hungry. So I made up some sugar water. The ratio is 1 part water, 1 part sugar, and per the book I read, my handbook, it does say to make a gallon is 10 3/4 cups of water and 10 3/4 cups of sugar. And a lot of people, that's fine, that's all you really need, but there is this product, I'm sure maybe others, but this is the one I'm using. It's called Honeybee Healthy, obviously, and it just has some nutrients in there for them. It tastes amazing. I'm not gonna tell you how I figured that out, but it has spearmint oil, purified water, lemongrass oil, sucralose, and lecithin, but it's really good for them. It doesn't take much. For a gallon, you only put 4 to 8 teaspoons in, and it's supposed to, well, obviously give them a little more nutrition, but it also lures them to the feeding area, which I'll be showing you soon. I can't wait. So we also, while you make it, they also suggest getting a spray bottle, obviously a new one, nothing with chemicals in it that, you know, I would think anybody would know that, but I'm telling you just in case. And we're gonna fill this up. What this does is, oh, I should say, this water, you have to heat it up until the sugar dissolves completely, and it's pretty warm and way too warm, obviously, for bees. So you don't want to get them near it ahead of time. So this is why I'm on my porch right now and just kind of cooling it off in the shade. I'll wait to install until I have all that stuff set. So they'll be safe. Okay. So I do have a ladle, and I'm just gonna fill this bottle with some of the sugar water. I have no idea how much I need, so in this case more is better because I can always just feed it to them later. It's the same thing, but what this does is when you first open up the box that they're in, the package, you actually spray the bees with it, but they like it. It's what they eat. So what happens is you spray it, it weighs them together and actually sticks them together a little bit. It's not unpleasant for them, I've been told, but it gives you time. They're busy eating and cleaning themselves, so they're a little less likely to sting because they're busy, but it also sticks them together, so it's easier to get them out of the box, apparently. Like I said, I've never done this before, so I'm really curious, but this is the spray bottle, same as this. And you know, once I'm done, I'll read and make sure I don't need it to check on. I think at the next time I check on them in a few days, I'll be using a smoker, but I'll double check before. But I can always just throw it into the feeder box when I get there. All right. Another thing I needed to get ready was the frame that the queen is going to be installed in. You get a large elastic, which I can't believe I could not find one in my house. I finally randomly found one, thank goodness, because I would have had to go to the store because it's important. The package I got, different packages will come different ways, so everything obviously is referenced to what I have, because I'm not an expert. All I know is what I know. So when I get my queen box, it actually will go installed in here, which we'll see soon, and then it will go into the frame. But so you need a fairly strong elastic. I have been told when the time comes, the queen will be in her box for about 2 or 3 days, and then she'll be released, and apparently the bees chew on this, and you just find it at the bottom of your hive, but it will get rid of the elastic at the same time. But you do need to have this ready, because if you don't, well, if you have a wood one, I think some people will staple the queen box onto it that way, but I have plastic frames, so this is how we do it. So there we go. The third thing that I need to get ready is putting the actual bee suit on. Actually, when I went to the bee mentor, he didn't use one. He had short sleeves on. He had hair that he actually ended up just using a comb to brush a few out when they were in his hair. But short sleeves, bare hands, everything. He was fine, but he's been doing it for 5 years and he's comfortable. He's probably seen a lot, knows how to react, doesn't quite freak out, because I don't know, maybe when I get up there I'll be nervous and they'll feel it, or I'll feel it or something, and I might just make some kind of stupid mistake. So I'm going to get my bee jacket on and my bee hat on. Well, you know, I'm sure you know that much, but just the protection for my face and my arms, and I'll wear jeans and cover my feet and make sure that they can't sting me if something doesn't go as planned. So definitely get those 3 things ready. I think that's it, but I'm just going to go through my notes one more time and then I will install them if there's no other steps I've missed. Wish me luck. Okay, you'll see obviously I've switched to a new location in my yard. This is my backyard, And as you can see, we live on a lake. There's a reason for doing this besides just wanting to sit out here and get a little slice of heaven. I also wanted to remind you about placing your hive, and when you first decide to do this, it is important that you realize what your lifestyle is. We live on a lake, we get tons of company, and people get nervous around bees. So it is something to consider, that you want to make sure that if you're going to keep bees, you need to make sure that they are placed away if you tend to have company or anything like that a lot. We live on a little less than an acre of land, so you don't need a lot of land, but our land is like a pie shape, and the bees are way up away from the lake and away from where company would be. So that is definitely consideration. I went inside one more time to check online for the installation of the bees, and I actually looked up specifically the package box that I got my bees in, and I'm really glad I did. The package I get, I think it's called a bee bus, and I was able to find on YouTube an actual installation with that, and I learned a lot, something that might have been a problem later if I didn't know or wasn't expecting it. So I learned that with the package that I got, that the queen is in a cage, and when you take that out of this type of package, you actually uncork it, but there's no sugar cork in there, so you have to replace it with a marshmallow. I was told that, but I forgot because there's so much going on in my head right now, and I forgot that, but that could have been a problem later because I would have been walking around trying to figure this out with my thumb on the cork hole so that the queen doesn't get out. That was also something that was a good reminder on YouTube, because I didn't realize that the queen would be looking to get out, but I mean, it's obvious, but I just never thought of it. But they do remind you that the queen is going to want to get out, and they suggest that you wait till the queen is facing away from the hole so she can't escape quickly, and to take the cork and really note that you need to cover that hole right away so that the queen doesn't get away. If you lose the queen, you might lose all of them because they are hanging around for the queen. I also wanted to mention this bucket. My bee mentor, John Hanks, actually recommended having one of these buckets. I think it's going to be really helpful. I got the 5-gallon bucket at Walmart. It was less than $5. And then I got this sleeve at Home Depot, and it was about $12 around there. And there's just little pockets. There's pockets inside too. And you could throw your water bottle or anything in there if you're going to be up near the bees for a while, or anything that you want. It's good to have. It holds everything. I have my tools here. I have a lot of the same thing. I have a lighter. I have a couple brushes. I have this. This is my wireless solar fence. Well, it doesn't matter if it's solar or not, but it actually will test my fence to see if it is getting the electricity and how much electricity is going through my fence. So it is good to have this one. It actually came with my fence package, but it's just this. I don't know what all those things mean. I just know that if I press this button and I'm close to the fence and it lights up to here, then it's working really well. So far so good. That's the only light that's been shining for me, so sweet. All right. I also was thinking of not using the smoker, but I've changed my mind. I think I'm gonna have the smoker ready to work so that, you know, it can't hurt. All you're doing is throwing some fuel in it. It just takes a couple extra minutes. I practiced yesterday for the first time, and I just wanted to do a dry run and see how long the smoke lasts, how much time I have with the smoke on hand. So I did that yesterday. You'll notice this bottom here has feet. You're gonna put it down so the feet go down, and what that is doing is, I'll show you in a minute, but in the bottom of the smoker, you can press this bellow thing and it pushes air up, but through the bottom hole of this smoker. So this gives it that air I don't know, for circulation, I guess, something like that. So you just make sure that when you put this in, that you put it down with the feet. Okay, double check, so it's in there, and feet down. I use dryer lint. You can use, they actually have stuff online. You can buy pellets or these weird stick things or something that seem to be very effective, but you can just use stuff around your house. It's really easy, there isn't much to it. So I have a chunk of dryer lint. I just keep a bag around. We also use it, it's actually great kindling for a fire pit we have over there too, which is, it's just a little quicker than gathering sticks and all that stuff, especially poison ivy's coming back out, and I don't like poison ivy. So we have this, the dryer lint is the kind of the fuel kindling, and then you need something that burns a little slower. I've heard people really seem to, like, a fan favorite is pine needles. I don't have any pine in my area, or at least in my land, so I don't have the pine. So I just went into recycling. I have some cardboard I ripped up into little pieces. I had more, but quite frankly, this is not my first take on this section, so I'm almost out of cardboard, but I'm too lazy to go up to recycling and get more. So I have the dryer lint ball and a lighter. So I'm just gonna light. Come on, there we go. It's going. See that? I'm gonna drop that in. And then I'm gonna drop in my cardboard. And that dryer lint should burn enough to ignite the cardboard. And the cardboard is actually what's going to be smoking, producing the smoke that gets out. So if you see here on the bottom, there is a hole. There's a hole in the bellow. Bellow. And when you squeeze it, the air comes out of here, goes through this hole, and then it feeds the flame, because flames need air. So anyway, that's it. We're just about ready to do this. I can't wait. Okay, so I have my bee top on and the bee hat, everything just protection for my hands and my face for now. I made a list. Actually, I went on and I just have a list. I'm not proud. I want to do this right, and a checklist is good. So I'll just read off as I go along, and we'll go from there. I had the smoker going, and I saw in the video that I watched that the smoker's just kind of hanging out there on the hook for now, and that will calm the bees when I need them to be, or if I need them to be. I have the sugar water ready. I have my pry tool. I have the spray bottle with the sugar water. I have my marshmallow ready, and I have my frame with the elastics on it. So everything's ready for installation. So here's the package of the bees, and you'll see, just as I said earlier, that this bench actually comes in really handy. So it's up high, and I don't have to worry about bending over so much. I have a little bit more control over things too. So, but what I need to do is first spray. Okay, I probably should have checked that first. Come on. I have the spray bottle of the sugar water, and you spray the sides, you spray inside there, and they like it. It's food for them, but it does calm them down and clumps them together. So, and I know this looks mean, but I'm supposed to give this a tap, and you can hear them. If you listen really close, you can hear them buzzing. And the next thing I need to do, this can here is the food that they've had for their trip. It's also sugar water, but I take that band off and I pull this can up, and the queen will be inside here too. So I pull this out. Come on. There we go. a dead bee, but that's to be expected, I guess. That's what they say anyway. It looks terrible, but you can see the bees there. And then in here is the queen. So you pull this tab, and there's the queen. And obviously everybody's all about the queen here, so they're going to be all over her. So I'm gonna get my brush. Super glad that I wore gloves at this point, now that I see how that goes. And if you look in here, you can see the queen, and there's just the queen in there. She's bigger than the rest, and that will come in handy for many reasons later, but you just want to get everything all set there. And I'm supposed to put a cover back on there, but I didn't get a cover with it, so we'll just improvise. And it's cool, they're fine, the bees are there, and again, the queen is there. So what there is, there's a cork here, and the queen's gonna try and escape, so I need to cork it up with a marshmallow, and that the bees will actually eat through the marshmallow at a certain point. The bees will keep coming back to her because that's their whole job, is to attend to her needs and everything. So we always want to make sure, but they said to make sure the queen is facing the other way, not towards the cork, because we don't want her to escape, because you need a queen. All right, so they said you pry the cork, and can't see very well with this, but I'm gonna trust that everything will be okay. Get down there, queen. Gah, get down. Get down. I think she knows. She wants to get out. Well, that's a nice marshmallow for you. You're gonna like that too. Okay, so I'm gonna uncork this. And right after I uncork it, I'll put my thumb. See, she's still in there. So far, so good. And then I have this marshmallow, and I gotta make sure she's on the other side, and I stuffed that marshmallow. Okay, so that's good now. And what this does is it's just gonna keep the queen in her cage a little longer. Don't worry, she has this wire screen here, and they can still continue to feed her through it just like they have been. But what it does is it's gonna establish her in the hive, and after a few days she will be free, and by then they'll have some honeycomb going, and they will be able to start, or she'll be able to start laying eggs. So we're gonna put her aside for now, and she's eventually gonna go into the frame like that. You want to make sure that the bees can get to her to feed her, so make sure that it's not tipped that way or whatever. You just need to have it so that she's safe and secure and easily accessible. And I'll put that aside in the shade, obviously, because you don't want her to get hot. And then it's time to put the bees in. So we have this. I'm supposed to spray this again with the sugar water, and you give it a tap, and it keeps them all down. Let me make sure, actually. So I sprayed and knocked the package to settle them out, got the queen out, corked her up. Let's see, put a marshmallow in the hole. Okay, so I tapped the package again. Now I need to pry the tabs off this box, and I gotta find them first. He showed me when I was there, but there's Joe. Do you see any tabs? Okay, now we're gonna open up. They could just come right out of the hole. Some of the packages, you just bang them out, but apparently with this one, we're gonna try it. But I'm supposed to use my pry bar and pry open this door, but I'm not sure if this is the one. I don't know. I thought I knew what I was doing, but now we're just gonna wing it and I'm sure it'll be fine. It's supposed to have some sort of door, yeah, that swings. Urgh. All right. Let's see. Oh, and there goes my notes. That's great. Okay, we figured it out. Thank you, Joe. So this is the pry bar thing here, and you get your hive tool, and I need to pry under there. This kind of opens the door. Oh, I guess I didn't use the smoke either. Maybe that's why they're a little active right now, but they're still, I don't know, they haven't gotten stung yet. That's a good sign. But okay, so this door is open. Whoops! And I'm gonna, okay, just live and learn. I've run out of smoke already, pretty much. There's a little bit, so we'll use that. Not the end of the world, I guess. So then we're going to tap these down and open up this door. And we shake these in. It's really pretty cool. Can you hear them? They just shake right in. It's the coolest thing. You're going to try and shake out as much as you can. You don't have to worry too much. There's going to be some dead ones in the bottom. Don't worry about that. That's to be expected. They have a very short lifespan. And they will also be, any of them that are out, obviously, they're all over the place, and they're going to be looking for their queen. So I'll be installing the queen soon. And so right now we do that. And I can actually use my bucket to put the hive close to the entrance here where they can come in. They can enter for now. I'm going to put this bar back a little later. You can hear them if you get the video nice and close, Joe. You can let them listen to it, and they're kind of just getting used to their new environment. Okay, let me check my notes. Okay. So I put in as many are going to come in right away. I have her screen is facing out again, which this is very important for her. And I think I saw it sideways, so I'll do it sideways like that. I have 2 elastics just because I'm nervous that one's going to give. And then you want to make sure that they can reach her and feed her. And the marshmallow plug is there. And then you actually put all the frames back into the hive. I have very little smoke left, so, but it will kind of calm them. We want to get them away from here, but that's what the brush is for too, because you're trying not to crush. You will crush some. I have some over there that I crushed by accident, but obviously we don't want that to happen, so we're going to put the queen in. And we need to push that frame as close together as possible. We don't want space in between because they'll actually glue it all together. And we're going to replace it with all the frames gently. We don't want to hurt anybody in there. We want them to all be happy with their new home. So gently, slowly. There's enough protection here. I'm wearing enough protection so I don't really have to worry about them. Which is nice. We'll get this in here too. Okay guys, everybody get out of the way. Okay, and then we push all the frames together. I think the hardest part right now is going to be leaving them alone, because I got to leave them alone for 4 days. And I'm not going to know what's going on. I'm just going to have to hope for the best and hope that everything's working out. Once we have them installed and they can all come into that entrance, you can see here that they can come in through there and they go up into the frames that way. This is the feeder box that I showed you earlier. I don't want to squish any of you guys, so get them along the edge. Put the feeder box on there. I haven't put the liquid in yet. I just figured it'd be easier to wait. But you can see this, like I said, they'll be able to come up and find, like there's actually one he already found his way up here. Or she, I should say, not he. There's very few he's in this at this point, or at any point. And then I'm gonna fill that feeder up with the sugar water that I made a little earlier. Look, you can see, like I said, bees don't know how to swim. See that? So we want to make sure that they're protected against that. Come on, guys. And I'll make sure before I close up the feeder that that there's no bees in there, because we don't want any of them to die. But yeah, you just fill it up. Like I said, the ratio is 1-to-1, sugar and water, and then I have that that additive that I got from my guy. And we want to make sure, oops, that all these guys are out. And then I'm going to put the top cover on once I know. Come on, guys. You're living dangerously. Get out of there. I have a feeling I did something wrong. Probably, I'm guessing, I shouldn't have put the feeder on before, or I should have put the top cover on before I got the feeder so close. That is my guess. I think it's a pretty good guess, but just gonna have to do the best I can, save as many as I can, and get my top cover on as soon as possible before I have any more kamikaze divers in there. Come on, guys. Get out. Get out. Come on. Come on, guys. Yeah, whoops. Get it? Did you get snow?
No.
Jeepers. Okay, well, some of you guys are going to have to find your way up. But that will save it. I think that's everything for now. And I'm just going to walk away for a while, pick up most of my trash. And I don't know. I guess it could have gone a little better. I wish that I had thought to do the feeder protected the bees from getting in there, because I have a feeling they're not going to make it. But I don't know. I'm doing the best I can, and you will too. And learn from my mistakes. But now we just leave it for 4 days, and then I'll check back with her. There will be some bees that will follow. I understand. I've heard that they'll follow me for a little bit, but they'll go back to the queen. So it's okay if you get some stragglers that come along with you for a little bit, because they'll find their way back. I think that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in 4 days. All right, it's just been about 5 minutes since I left. Just checking on them because I don't know what to expect, but it looks like there's still a lot in here, but they will find their way out. They want to be in the hive. They want to find their food and their queen, so they'll get in there. I see water coming out here. I don't know. What do you think? I guess they're doing okay. They're all drinking. They're drinking water, sugar water from there. I kind of don't want to check it yet right now because I don't know. Do you think I should check it?